Lead story for Monday, August 4th. Perplexity AI has been exposed secretly deploying stealth crawlers that intentionally evade website no crawl directives, rotating IP addresses, and even masquerading as regular browsers, despite explicit robot.txt blocks and firewall defenses. Perplexity's undisclosed bots aggressively scrape restricted content from millions of websites daily. Cloudflare investigation confirms this shocking breach of trust, prompting immediate countermeasures against those rogue AI crawlers. Welcome to episode 1838. I'm your host, Todd Cochran. Welcome to the show. And wow, this is a big one, ladies and gentlemen, in that Perplexity is essentially flipping the bird to all website owners that have said, no, 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 I don't want you crawling my site. I don't want you taking the data. This stealth crawling is a very, very, very bad look. And with all of the litigation that is already in process, this is just going to add fuel to the fire in a very, very, very big way. And the Cloudflare investigation is beyond extensive. And one thing that has been true is robots.txt has been a way to make sure that you control who sees and does what with your website content. And they basically set up some domain names that were unknown to the internet, and then started asking Perplexity questions about those specific domains and started getting responses. And the log data was very, very evident that they were doing things that they were not supposed to. They say our multiple test domains explicitly prohibited all automated access, specifying robots, and had a specific rule blocking crawlers from Perplexity's public crawlers. We observed that Perplexity uses not only their declared user agents, but also a generic browser intended to impersonate Google Chrome on Mac OS when their declared crawler was blocked. But their declared and undeclared crawlers were attempting to access the content, scraping contrary to the web crawling norms as outlined in RFC 9309. The undeclared crawler utilized multiple IPs not listed in Perplexity's official IP range and rotate through those IPs in response to the restrictive robots.txt policy and block from Cloudflare. In addition to rotating IPs, they observed requests coming from different ASNs in an attempt to further evade website blocks. Activity is observed across tens of thousands of domains and millions of requests per day, and they are able to fingerprint this crawler using combination machine learning and network signals. Now, well-meaning bots respect website preferences. They are transparent and they identify themselves. They act as good net citizens and don't flood sites with excessive scraping. They serve a clear purpose and they follow the rules. So this is a significant naughtiness by the folks over at Perplexity. And of course, they have yet to respond. This was just posted today. I'm sure we will see something about this. But, I have chosen to allow bots to crawl my websites. I don't have an issue with it. I think it's in my site's best interest at this point based on some other evidence I had from other stuff that's been going on. So I'm going to assume um, that even though you may choose to not have these sites crawl your site, they're still doing it. And this is a very, 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 very bad look, to be quite frank with you. Again, I want to welcome you to episode 1838, and a shout out to our incredible sponsor at GoDaddy. Score exclusive deals and discounts at geeknesscentral.com/GoDaddy. And to all our listeners, you are the heartbeat of the show. If you want support the GNC mission, head to geeknesscentral.com/insider and become a GNC insider. Of course, we are lit and live. And don't just listen, experience the show live by grabbing a modern podcast app at podcastapps.com. And of course, you can interact in real time. You can check out the full Geek News Central universe at geeknewscentral.com, where you'll find all of our partner shows and, of course, tons of new content. Stay in the loop. Follow and subscribe to the podcast via your favorite podcast app. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at geeknewscentral.com for more, even more insider scoops. Of course, you can join the conversation at geeknews.chat or email me directly, geeknews@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on X at Geek News, and you can even catch me on Facebook. So see a trend there, Geek News, Geek News, Geek News, Geek News. And of course, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, GoDaddy, who's been here with us for 20 years, and it's all because of you. We did get our July results. It wasn't as good as a couple of previous months, but still doing well. We want to thank you all for your support. So we definitely want to double down in August in your consideration of supporting the sponsor. Of course, I'll get into that here as we proceed. So let's start with a website or a podcast. GNC codes make it an easy, affordable to grab GoDaddy's economy hosting for just $6.99 a month. That's a full year of hosting with a free domain name, professional email, and SSL certificate. If you're interested in WordPress, my favorite, WordPress managed hosting is just $12.99 a month, which includes a free domain name, professional email, and again, an SSL certificate. And if you need a domain name, get yours for just $11.99. Of course, you can use GoDaddy Website Builder, get a free 30-day trial on personal business or business plus plans. And of course, I use all of the GoDaddy products and services, and your support keeps this podcast alive. Use our codes, click and save. You're backing this independent team of creators. Share my codes or website link with your families and friends, because every time a code is used, it's just like making an in-kind donation to the show. I thank you so much for your ongoing support of GoDaddy and of the podcast. For some reason, here in the apartment, I have a little itty bitty flies. They're tiny. I don't know if they're fruit flies. I guess I'm gonna have to check the stack. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to leave here soon, so need to start cleaning out the refrigerator and any spare fruit I've got laying around and so forth. A big achievement. I am officially now down 25 pounds. I've talked a little bit about that on Facebook today. Kind of, you guys have been kind of aware. Again, hopefully you can see it in my face of the weight loss. But this afternoon, my team at Blueberry launched Guest Match .pro. And I don't know if I've got it. Probably can put it up on the screen here so you guys can see what it looks like. But this is our brand new offering. It's the hub for interviews and opportunities. So this is we're in an open beta, free utilization for anyone that wants to come in and try this. So definitely check it out at guestmatch.pro. You can sign up today. But again, brand new website, brand new service that we're offering. 90 days at least in free beta here. So definitely check it out if you're looking to be interviewed on another podcast. This is a great way to be heard. What else do I have before we get into the stack today? Don't have any donation information. Didn't pull that before the show. We'll cover it on the next podcast. So up in the air on whether I'll be doing a show on Thursday or not, because of the travel that's happening. So I'll keep you advised. But thank you again for your ongoing support of the show here, and ready to. I'm going to have a very, very busy couple of months when I get back. It's going to be very, very full for sure. For sure. For sure. Hey, want to start off with article right from our own platform. Jen wrote this up, and it's about OpenAI says ChatGPT now offers gentle reminders to take breaks during long sessions. The company's announcement suggests that gentle reminders will appear as pop-ups in chats that users will have to click or tap through to continue using ChatGPT. Just checking in. OpenAI sample pop up reads, "You've been chatting for a while. This is a good time for a break." In other words, they're probably trying to get people to slow down a little bit. Now they're also expecting to launch ChatGPT 5 um, this week, so we will see where that lays. But part of this also says that OpenAI says ChatGPT is now on track to reach 700 million weekly users. I'm not in ChatGPT all day. I'm really not. I'm in and out when the time is needed, and it's usually 10-15 minutes. I'm out. I've got what I need. I pull the data. I start my own editing. I don't know. I just really don't pull that much. Use it as much as you would think. When I do, it's very very engaging and saves me time for sure. But I'm not in there chatting all day. So far, Elon Musk revival of Vine is seriously disappointing. People are complaining. This is over at Gizmodo. For some time now, Elon has been promising to bring back Vine. Of course, back in the day, the short-lived TikTok precursor allowed users to post dopey 6-second videos that looped and could be easily shared. However, as the Tesla billionaire's plans for short-form video distributors come into view, it increasingly seems like he got us all really excited for not a lot. Um, so, however, as Vine's return has approached, it seemed increasingly clear that the app may not be exactly how you remember it. And one would suspect that. On Monday, Musk promised that the archive of old Vine videos would return in some form. However, it's increasingly doubtful the app will be an active service that users can use to make new videos. Instead, it's implied that Grok's new AI video generator can be used to create not safe for work material will act as a replacement. So, Grok Imagine is AI Vine, Musk wrote in an X post on Saturday. Little other information was shared. So, we will see what is actually delivered. Now, many of you fly. I fly a lot, and I know things I can and cannot bring on an airplane. But there's a list of things that you can bring on an airplane that was put together by life hackers. Some of this stuff is pretty weird. You can bring your own parachute. How about human bones, live fish, snow globes? You can even bring a Geiger counter. You can bring a shock collar. Really, a shock collar? I guess if you're wearing one, you can bring fresh eggs, frozen food, antlers. Of course, you can check alcohol. You can bring small alcohol vials, but you cannot legally drink them. That's a big, big no-no. You get caught drinking alcohol your alcohol on a plane, it can end very badly for you. Knitting needles, really? You would think um, with all the restrictions on knives and so forth, but even electric blanket if you're cold. I knew a person that used to do this. So yeah, these are some of the things you can bring with you on an airplane. Amazon, though, may bring ads to Alexa Plus. Here's what that really could mean for you. You could get pitched more than just the weather. Amazon's second quarter's earning call. Company is considering adding ads to Alexa Plus, its premium AI driven assistant. So you're paying for something that's going to still serve ads to you. Lovely. I think not. Of course, it's no surprise that weaponized AI is making hackers faster, more aggressive, and more successful. New research from CrowdStrike confirms that hackers are exploiting AI to help them deliver aggressive attacks in less time. They're using agentic AI systems. And of course, they're honing in on enterprise AI solutions as well. So, this is just going to continue to rise and will not likely change. SpaceX had another launch, 28 Starlinks. This is launch number 96 for the year so far. So that's pretty impressive, considering they didn't get 100 launches in a year a few years ago. Wasp living around a Cold War era nuclear facility in South Carolina built at least four radioactive nests, raising concerns about their source. So this news broke last week. The Savannah River site near Aiken, South Carolina. So yes, radioactive wasp nest. Now, not a lot of details on this, but you know, and where they were found, how they were found, all of that. But and what type of isotopes? None of that was released. But very, very low levels, but yet 10 times higher than what we should be exposed to. Now, I just had to giggle. Over on Tech Radar, there's this article. It's entitled "One More Reason to Stick with Wired Earbuds." Kamala Harris warns. I'm just telling you, that's a little bit more secure than wireless earbuds after hearing experience intelligence briefings. Anything wireless, ladies and gentlemen, anything wireless is being transmitted over the air and susceptible to interception. Not that anyone wants to listen in on your earbud situation. But if they wanted to, not saying that they could, but possibly with the right equipment. But if someone's listening into your earbud conversations, you're a lot more valuable or important than I am. NASA has some new radar data, and they pulled off something impossible on Earth. NASA, during a close Mars flyby, NASA's Europa clipper tested its radar system. So they were unable to do this as it was departing Earth, obviously. So when they did the Mars flyby to get the gravity boost, they were able to do a test and fire up their Reason radar, and were able to collect 60 gigabits of data, send it back to home control, and were able to pull the data in. Tested good. So the radar is ready to operate once it gets out to Europa. And what is it, 2030? I think 44, 5 years before they get out there. Also, now there's such a thing as space hurricanes. Space hurricanes are real, and I guess they wreak more havoc than we thought. And hurricane season has, again, I guess, a new contender here. A new study reveals that space hurricanes can mimic the effects of a geomagnetic storm, shaking up Earth's magnetic fields and scrambling GPS signals, even when space weather appears calm. The study examined satellite ground data from the first known space hurricane, which was observed in 2014. So, very, very interesting here. Space hurricanes. Of course, Ukrainian drone attacks are causing blackouts and shutdowns for Russian mobile internet. There was over 2,000 shutdowns of mobile internet in the month of July, and that's a definite increase because what are they doing? They're using a mobile internet service to help fly their drones to target, amongst other things. So, not surprising here of the tactics being taken. But imagine you being on the phone and they just pull the plug. Another earnings report. Palantir is set to report second quarter earnings after announcing a $10 billion U.S. Army deal. So Wall Street analysts track Bloomberg expect the company to report second quarter adjusted earnings of 0.14 or 14 cents from 9 cents. So we'll see what the actual report is when it comes out. But if you like investing in defense firms, this is probably a good one to invest in. So if you have a Apple Series 1 watch, Apple just made the classic Apple Watch obsolete. So I don't know how many of these are being still worn, but it basically the Apple Watch Series 1 was discontinued 7 years ago in 2018. Having a vintage is great, but how many people are still wearing a vintage a Series 1? That battery still lasts and all that stuff. I'd be curious. Do you still have a Series 1? I don't know what my watch is. I don't know if I have no idea what series I'm on. I haven't bought one in a number of years. just keeps on working. So I guess that's the key, and I haven't shipped it or broke it. So have you ever had to, I call it a brain fart, where you just kind of have like where your brain just kind of goes blank? Have you ever had that happen to you? Well, if you say you haven't, then you're in the minority because new brain scans reveal that yes, our brains do a little bit of a memory lapse at times. As an example, you look up from your phone and suddenly realize you weren't thinking about anything. Have you ever been asked what were you think? What have you been thinking about? I think we all get that deer in the headlights look from time to time. We kind of check out, and our brain shuts down. Well, it's a brief waking state when conscious thoughts simply stops. So don't know the reason for it, but they were doing EEGs, and so they have some clues, but it's pretty interesting. So if you experience this on a regular basis, this is the article for you to check out for sure. A little bit of science news: AI has just found 5 powerful materials that could replace lithium batteries. AI is helping scientists crack the code on next gen batteries. By discovering novel porous materials, researchers may have paved the way for more powerful, sustainable energy storage using abundant elements like magnesium. And this research published in the Cells Report, Physical Science, the NGI team has done this discovery. And so it's a pretty extensive article here. A little bit about the science behind it. And if you think about where we've come from in batteries, and many of you probably did a battery experiment at school when school still did true science stuff. I think I did that in elementary school or middle school, maybe, where we made our own battery. They're not that complicated, but density and storage and all that is very complicated compared to maybe what you did in science class. So it's good to see that they're continuing to push the science. Scientists also recreated the universe's first molecule. Yes. How do they know it's the first molecule? It's like the chicken and egg thing, but they feel they've solved a 13 billion year puzzle. So long before stars lit up the sky, the universe was a hot, dense place where simple chemistry quietly set the stage for everything to come. Scientists have now created the first molecule ever to form, helium hydride, and discovered it played a much bigger role in the birth of the stars than we thought. Using a special, thin, ultra cold lab setup, they mimicked conditions from over 13 billion years ago and found this ancient molecule helped cool the universe just enough for stars to ignite. Their findings could rewrite part of the story about how the cosmos evolved from darkness to light. So, very, very interesting. How cold? How cold did it have to be? Did it say? They say how cold? Oh, this occurred. And they didn't say how cold their lab experiment was, but I'm assuming very, very cold. Senate has confirmed Senator Sean Carncross to be the National Cyber Director for President Trump. Carncross is former Republican National Committee official and was CEO of the Millennium Challenge Corporation agency during Trump's first term. As National Cyber Director, he'll be tasked with overseeing office that stood up under the Biden administration, which serves as key White House cyber policy interlocutor across federal agencies in Capitol Hill. So there is our cyber director. Definitely does not have a cyber background. Meanwhile, DJI announced the Osmo 360, its first 360 camera with dual 1-inch CMOS sensors, has made this official. Will it compete? The Osmo supports 8K video recording up to 100 minutes, a single charge, up to 190 minutes at 6K without overheating. An important feature for extended shooting session also includes fast charging, 105 gigabits of internal storage, USB 3.1, and Wi Fi 6. A popular feature among creators is the invisible selfie stick effect, and that is available. And additionally, DJing includes creative modes like Hitchhik, Asteroid, Drone View, and Time Lapse. So I don't have a cost here, but is available for order. Mozilla is flagging a phishing wave aimed at hijacking trusted Firefox add-ons. Mozilla is warning an ongoing phishing campaign targeting developers of Firefox add-ons. Although the phishing emails can take many forms, they said this campaign usually lures dev into clicking through to a malicious link to update their account. Failure to do so, the crims claim would result in the dev losing access to developer features. So they're basically hackers are trying to get access to add-ons as new ways to access it. So did you guys know that the iPad now is 15 years old? Imagine that. I can't imagine not having my iPad. I use it almost every single day, whether it's sitting on the couch with it beside me and able to check email or respond to Slack or shopping or whatever it may be. I just can't imagine not having a tablet. And the first one, I remember the first gen iPad in 2010, but it was such a lovely device. It really was. And how things have changed over the years. So this article has a picture of all of them if you want to take a walk down history lane here. But yeah, 15 years. If you're watching live today, make sure you say hello. Check in on the chat. We definitely appreciate it. BMW is saying their next EV is the most sustainable car yet. I guess it's because of recyclability. They're going to have a whole bunch of stuff in the car that is going to be recyclable. How about the battery? They're going to be using heavy use of mono materials, basically making the center console out of just one kind of plastic. Means it's easy to recycle at the end of the car's life. BMW's also upped the case of secondary materials in the car. About 1,600 pounds worth is recycled material, including all of the lithium, cobalt, nickel in the battery, 70% of the aluminum is alloy wheels, and 80% of aluminum in the car carrier. So it's actually been made out of recyclables as well, which is pretty awesome, to be honest with you. As we, and again, I guess that's a whole industry now of metal recovery. United States has announced $100 million for state, local, and tribal cybersecurity. The funding consists of two grants, namely fiscal year 2025 state and local, and it's going to be the state, local, and tribal cybersecurity. That's down from $1 billion in grants over the previous 4 years, so just $100 million. This is probably one of the most interesting articles of the day. Columbia scientists have made a gel from yogurt that heals tissue, and it works by harnessing extracellular vesicles from milk. The team developed a soft material that mimics living tissue and promotes natural regeneration. The gel doesn't just deliver therapeutic molecules. The EV helps build the structure of the gel itself. In mouse models, it boosted blood vessel formation and tissue repair without added chemicals. The research hints at a future where food-derived biotech plays a powerful role in healing the body. Essentially, we are what we eat and drink. So why would this not be surprising at all? Also, the United States has become the ransomware capital of the world as attacks rise more than about 150%. And we are the country most often targeted, I think, largely because people have more money or companies have more money. 50% of all ransomware attacks happen in the United States, outpacing Canada at 5% and UK at 4%. And then the rest of the world follows in. Using Windows 10, well, as of October looms, millions still cling to Windows 10, just 2 months left. So enterprises are looking at extended security updates as a stay of execution, but Many versions of Windows 10 are set to reach the end of free standard support on October 14th, and they're continuing to push Windows 11 relentlessly. So this is a big uphill struggle. If you have a computer that's doing work that works well, and a lot of work being done in browsers these days, why do you need Windows 11? Now, consumers can pick up a free year of extended support updates, although they'll need either redeem some Microsoft report points or do so syncing their settings to cloud via Windows backup. So, doesn't come without a price. Have you seen QR codes just randomly placed? Don't don't click on them. Don't take a picture of them. The FBI warns of some scams involving QR codes and hacks that are, basically delivering payloads and so forth. So don't be clicking on QR codes. Make sure it's an official QR code. Make sure there's not a QR code over the top of a QR code, especially when it comes to parking meters and that kind of stuff. That's where you often see these QR codes. Make sure that if you have a sign that has got a QR code for a parking area, that it's high enough or someone couldn't have put a QR code on neatly. So just be aware of this, okay? Tesla has been found partly to blame for fatal autopilot crash. This was reported a couple of days ago, and $243 million in punitive and compensatory damages. I'm sure this will be appealed. That's a big number. It really, really is. Tesla's maintained the driver George McGee was at fault and called the verdict wrong in a statement to the BBC. They vowed to, but it was a 2019 crash, and in which a Model S sedan using self-driving software killed a pedestrian and severely injured several others. So again, this was one person that was struck and killed. So and the driver had lost sight of the road when he dropped his phone as he was approaching an intersection, causing the car to continue through it and smashing. Oh, so this is for this more than one? So yeah, they got whacked pretty hard here. I wonder how much insurance will cover. Over 11,000 Android devices hit by fake login rat hidden in Meta ads and fake Google Play Store. So more than 11,000 Android devices are recently affected. This is according to cybersecurity Cleafy, who said there is an ongoing aggressive campaign to distribute malware to as many devices as possible. It's a Chinese piece of malware. Now, where's it actually going to? There are thousands of fake Google Play Store download pages advertised through made ads. So make sure you go directly to the Play Store in order to get your apps. Don't rely on the taking to a website and then clicking through. Make sure you do the request directly on the Google Play Store. And a little bit of an interesting article. This is one that's about the science of space. NASA has achieved a bold breakthrough, and they've been updating their supersonic parachutes, and they've been doing some high stakes flight tests, and essentially through upgrading sensors. And a team called Epic has successfully deployed a sensor-equipped parachute using a drone, providing crucial data for future tests. Collaboration between NASA's Research Center led to the development of commercially available sensors for the parachutes, and potential partnerships with aerospace and auto racing industries could broaden the technology's application. So, air launch capsule deploy parachutes equipped with sensors. Everything else has got a sensor, so why shouldn't this? So, very, very cool. Lots of great stuff going on in the tech world. We are definitely attempting to pare down the number of tech meme articles that we're covering. We're going to be covering other sites like Gizmodo and other stuff that doesn't have massive firewalls every time we do coverage on, it's not good enough now to just link to a site. They want us to pay. And I don't think you, as a consumer of this show, should be forced to pay to read the articles that we're referencing in the show. So we're trying to find alternative articles that talk about the same exact topic. That's a big thing here that we're trying to implement for all of you, so that the show notes continue to remain valuable. Also, if you are a book writer, if you're any type of professional and you're looking to be interviewed on podcasts, don't forget about our brand new product, guestmatch.pro. Go definitely check it out. Sign up, it's free for the first 90 days. Create a profile as a guest, and then we'll get you connected with potential podcasters. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it brings me to the end of this show. Geeknews at gmail.com. Geeknews at gmail.com is the email address. Don't forget about our sponsor, GoDaddy at geeknesscentral.com/GoDaddy. And if you want to become an insider, geeknesscentral.com/insider. That's a place to support the show for your 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, or $25 a month donation. No Patreon. It's done strictly through PayPal. And you can do a one-time donation to the show as well. I definitely appreciate you being here. Thanks for being part of the podcast. We'll see you back on the next episode, which either will be Thursday or a week from Thursday, depending upon how my flying schedule goes and getting back in to the United States. But I definitely appreciate everyone for being here. Thanks for listening or watching the show, however you may have connected. We'll see you next